President Trump has fired the Commissioner of Labor Statistics after today's weaker than expected jobs report. He's accusing her, without evidence, of falsifying the data ahead of the 2024 election to help elect Kamala Harris and calling today's report into question. The deputy commissioner is now acting commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Joining us now, former labor secretary under President Bill Clinton and current professor of public policy at UC Berkeley, my husband's alma mater, Robert Reich. Go Bears, Robert. Trump.
Go Bears is right.
Go Bears. Trump is accusing the commissioner of falsifying this data. Break it down for us. Is that even possible? How would that happen?
I don't know how it would happen. I mean, this is another example of Donald Trump destroying America's trust in our valuable institutions that we rely on for data about what's happening. He shoots the messenger, and by shooting the messenger, you get a country that no longer has the kind of confidence in the information it gets from very, very competent, very competent places. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is the crown jewel of our data sources in the government for what is happening in the economy. It's like the Federal Reserve Board. Trump attacks the Fed because he doesn't like what the Fed is doing, and he is undermining the public's faith in these institutions. This is, in my book, this is treasonous.
Okay, so we did report that there was quite a significant revision in the jobs numbers from May to June. It was pretty extreme. How do you account for that? What makes that happen?
Well, the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, gets more information, and it continues to revise the job numbers it has from previous months on the basis of that additional information. This is not new. It happened when I was labor secretary. You want the Bureau of Labor Statistics to get the most accurate reading possible of not only the previous month, but months before that, so you can see what is happening to the economy over time. And what we know now is that the economy has been slowing down much more than we even knew in terms of job growth. That's important information to have. You don't want to question the source of that information. That's a kind of baseless assertion. If I can just make one more point. When I was labor secretary, and I know it's been the same since then, the Bureau of Labor Statistics was like a fortress. You couldn't politically interfere with them. There was one occasion where I made a mistake. I told an international crowd what I thought the BLS might say, what I thought that the jobs report might show, but I couched it in saying I really don't know. I'm just making a guess. But even that was forbidden. I didn't know. I was just new as a labor secretary. The rule was you don't have any political interference there. Just like the Fed, you don't politically interfere in these institutions because they have got to be above politics.
How will we know, once we know who replaces the current commissioner, how will we know that the next person is going to enact their job without fear or favor?
Well, that's exactly the problem. You just put your finger on exactly what I worry about. And the same thing with the next Fed chair. How do we know that these people are not going to be just doing it because they are afraid that if they don't do what Trump wants, that they will be fired? They'll be the next to be fired. And that possibility that you just mentioned undermines the public's faith and trust in what we get and hear from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
And let's turn to the Federal Reserve. Governor Adriana Kugler is apparently stepping down early. Her term was set to expire at the end of January 2026, quite a while from now. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't know why specifically anybody in government will make that kind of decision to step down. There may be personal reasons, but I do know that Trump has been putting all kinds of pressure on the Fed. He's even come up with this this notion that he's going to embarrass Jerome Powell by accusing him of spending too much money on refurbishing and refurnishing the Fed. I mean, that's the joke because, the Fed, the Fed has a headquarters that is, I've been there. I mean, it's not opulent. This is at the same time that Trump is talking about putting a ballroom, adding a ballroom to the White House. This is madness. This is real crazy talk.
If Trump decides to replace Kugler with someone from his own shortlist, will that change things for the Fed? The Fed, of course, is supposed to be an independent arbiter here.
Yes, because it undermines once the public and the investor class and everybody else understands that the person in that job is listening to what Trump wants, then there is no longer any cop on the beat in terms of guarding against inflation. So most investors and most of the public that sort of follows these things will not have the confidence that inflation will be brought under control, won't have the confidence that there is a cop on the beat to prevent inflation from getting out of hand. You see the consequences of undermining public trust in the Fed. It's similar. It's analogous to undermining public trust in the Bureau of Labor Statistics. These are big deals. The public may not even know what the BLS and the Fed do, but believe me, the whole country depends. The economy depends. Investors depend on these places being apolitical, non-political, and Trump is taking a wrecking ball to that fundamental, basic, foundational assumption.